Become an effective citizen. This book, written by Ugochukwu Ogoko, contains the most important aspects of Nigeria, Africa, and the world events and their dates. It also contains vital information about world inventors, achievers, their inventions and dates. By the level of work and information in this book, it can be re-emphasized, it can be rephrased, the researcher's handbook. This book will be of immense help to students in the secondary schools and universities for their term paper, semester, examinations and research studies. I recommend this book to all state of the Nigeria public because the only way to become an effective citizen is to know more about yourself and the world around you. This publication emerged as consequence of a detailed research conducted to improve the quality of students, civil servants, job seekers, employees, Nigerians and Africans as a whole, in context of being adequately informed in terms of passing promotions, interviews, examinations, as well as improving the intelligent quotient IQ of all Nigerian citizens in general. For students sitting for promotion examination in schools, this book will be of immense help in improving their quotient and giving them the desired skill to excel in their studies. It is especially recommended as a companion to students sitting for JAMB, NECO, WAEC, GCE, and the management examination. It is also important to people of all walks of life to use as a guide to become more informed on events in Nigeria, Africa, and other countries of the world, and equip them to play an active role in social, political, and technologies discussions, thereby uplifting the Nigeria society to better social, economical, and educational standard. This book is dedicated to the Almighty God who has always crowned my efforts with success. And now, the making of Nigeria. 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 Niger area. Pronounced Nigeria. Nigeria is richly blessed by God with mineral resources such as coal, petroleum, rich agricultural soil, etc. Nigeria is located in West Africa on the Gulf of Guinea with a total area of about 923,768 square kilometers, that is 356,699 square miles, making it the world's 32nd largest country. Nigeria, an amalgam of ancient kingdoms, caliphates, empires, and city-states, comprising of 36 states and its federal capital territory, Abuja, and share border with Republic of Benin in the west, Chad and Niger Republic in the north, and Cameroon in the east. The name Nigeria was derived from River Niger, that is Niger area, by Flora Shaw, who later became the wife of Sir Frederick Lord Lugard. With a population numbering about 150 million people, approximately 250 ethnic groups, and above 500 languages. Nigeria is made up of 3 major ethnic groups. Major ethnic groups which are Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. Borno, Cross River, Adamawa, Taraba are the states with which the country shares boundaries with Cameroon. Sokoto, Kano, Kebbi, Yobe, Katsina, Jigawa and Borno are the states with which the country shares boundary with Niger Republic. Here are some of the events in the history of Nigeria that ought to be remembered by every citizen of this great country. Islam came to northern Nigeria as early as 9th century CE. The British first concealed Nigeria in the year 1539. By the year 1800, they have circulated most parts of the country. In 1795, River Niger was discovered in Nigeria by Mungo Park. Later in 1806, after 11 years, Mungo Park died somewhere in the area of Busa Rapid. John Lander, brother to Richard Lemon Lander, later discovered the mouth of River Niger in 1830. Slave trade was abolished in 1833 by William Wilberforce. Christianity came into Nigeria in the 15th century through Augustina and the Capuchin monks from Portugal. The first church established in Nigeria was the Church Missionary Society, CMS, by Henry Townsend in 1842. Also in 1842, formal education started in Nigeria. Mary Slessor stopped the killing of twins in Calabar, Nigeria in 1848. In 1851, Lagos was attacked by the British government to stop slave trade and other evil practices. They appointed Akintoye as the king of Lagos in that same year. The first secondary school in Nigeria, known as Church Missionary Society CMS Grammar School, was founded in the year 1859 in Lagos. The first Nigerian hospital was established in Abeokuta, Ogun State on 27th January 1859. Lagos was annexed as a British colony on 6th August 1861 and declared a colony on 5th March 1862. Bishop Ajayi Crowther became the first bishop in Africa in 1864. English Bible was translated into Yoruba language by Bishop Ajayi Crowther. In the year 1872, Nigeria's first jail was established in Niger Delta. The Nigeria Customs Service was founded in 1891. The Niger Coast Protectorate was formed on 13th May 1893. First Bank PLC of Nigeria was established in 1894. The Egba United Government was formed in the year 1898. Between 1898 and 1901, The first railway line was constructed in Nigeria from Lagos to Ibadan. Nigeria experienced the first eclipse of the sun in 1898, second in 1947, third in 1959, and fourth, 2001, and fifth in 2006. In 1900, the British government took over the control of Nigeria and ruled for 60 years. The British Nigerian colony was formed on 1st January 1900. The Protectorate of Northern and Southern Nigeria were also formed on 1st January 1900. The colony and the Protectorate of Lagos was merged with the Southern Nigeria Protectorate on 16th February 1906 by Governor Walter Egerton. In 1906, fire service was established in Nigeria. Boy Scout was formed in the year 1908 by Baden-Powell. Coal was discovered in Enugu, Nigeria in the year 1909. Sir Frederick Lord Lugard became the first Governor General of Nigeria in the year 1912 and ruled till 1919. In 1914, the Nigeria Capital Territory was moved from Calabar to Lagos. The colony and the Protectorate of Lagos was formed on 1st January 1914. The Nigerian Navy was also formed in 1914 after the amalgamation of the Northern and Southern Protectorates. In 1918, paper currency was introduced in Nigeria. Clifford Constitution was enacted in Nigeria in 1922 and became the second Nigerian constitution. Herbert Macaulay formed the first political party in Nigeria known as Nigeria National Democratic Party (NNDP) in 1923. In 1925, Royal Air Force plane became the first airplane that landed in Nigeria in the state of Kano. Aba Women Riot took place between November and December 1929. The Nigeria Police Force (NPF) was formed in 1930. The southern Nigeria was divided into East and West on 1st April 1939. Nigeria Football Association (NFA) was launched in 1945 and formed the first national team in 1949. NFA joined FIFA and CAF in 1959. Sir Richardson Constitution of 1946 divided Nigeria into the Northern Region, the Eastern Region, and the Western Region. It also provided a legislative council for the country with regional houses of assembly. In 1950, Professor Chikobi of Nigeria was the first African to gain PhD in mathematics. Chief Anthony Inaharo was the first person that moved motion for Nigeria independence in 1953. The Nigeria Military Schools area was established in 1954. On the 15th of March 1955, the Nigerian journalists organized themselves into a body named Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ. Petroleum was first discovered in Olobri in the Niger Delta by Shell BP in 1956. On 28th January 1956, Queen Elizabeth II paid her first visit to Nigeria. Her first visit was for 20 days, from 28th January to 16th February 1956. Dean Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, Ikemba Nnewi, Ezigbo Gburugburu, Amụmanegbu Igwe in 1957 became the first Nigerian university graduate to be enlisted in the Nigerian Army. The Nigeria Telecommunication Limited (NITEL) commenced its operation in 1958. Nigeria Airways was founded in 1959. The green-white-green in Nigerian national flag was designed by Michael Taiwo Akinkumi in 1958 and was officially hosted on 1st October 1960. The green color stands for the rich agricultural farmland in Nigeria, while the white color stands for peace and unity. The first television transmission station in Africa, Western Nigeria Television WNTV, now NTA, Nigerian Television Authority, Ibadan, was established in October 1959 by late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) was established by the CBN Act of 1958 and commenced operation on 1st July 1959. The first skyscraper in tropical Africa, known as the Cocoa House, was erected by late Chief Obafemi Awolowo in the 1960s. On 1st October 1960, Nigeria became an independent sovereign state. On this day, 1st October 1960, Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Owele of Onitsha became Nigeria's first indigenous Governor General from 1960 to 1963. On this same day, 1st October 1960, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa became the first Prime Minister in Nigeria. The first and the largest game reserve in Nigeria, Yankari Game Reserve in Bauchi State, was established on 1st December 1962. The Nigeria Immigration Service came into existence on 1st August 1963. Nigeria became a republic on 1st October 1963. And Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Owele of Onitsha as the first President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Alex Ifeanyichukwu Ekwueme was the first Executive Vice President of Nigeria. Chief Dr. Nwafor Rizu was the first Senate President in Nigeria from 1960 to 1966. Sir Louis O. Edet was the first Nigerian Inspector General of Police from 1964 to 1966. Nigeria Air Force was formally formed on 18th April 1964. Major General J.T.U. Aguiyi-Ironsi was the first military head of state in Nigeria in July 1966. The first military coup was staged in Nigeria by Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzaugu on Saturday, 15th January 1966. Sir Ahmad Bello, the Premier, Northern Region; Chief Samuel L. Akintola, the Premier, Western Region; Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the Prime Minister; Sir Festus Okotie-Eboh, the Federal Minister for Finance, were the four important Nigerian leaders killed during the 1966 military coup. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) was formed on May 16, 1967. On 27 May 1967, 12 more states were created in Nigeria by General Yakubu Gowon. The formation of Biafra Republic by the Easterners started on 30th May 1967. The Nigeria Civil War, Nigeria-Biafra War, which lasted for 30 months, started on 6th July 1967 and ended in 1970 with the slogan, "No victor, no vanquished. No victor, no vanquished." Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu led the war by declaring Eastern Region the Republic of Biafra. The Nigeria Prison Service was established in 1968. Nigeria changed to right-hand traffic drive on 2nd April 1972. The name Naira was coined from Nigeria by late Chief Obafemi Awolowo and was introduced on January 1973. The National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) was introduced in Nigeria by General Yakubu Gowon on 22nd May 1973. Economic Communities of West African States (ECOWAS) was formed in Nigeria on 28 May 1975. General Yakubu Gowon was the first chairman of ECOWAS. General Murtala Muhammad was a head of state for only 201 days before his death. He became a head of state on Tuesday, 29th July 1975 and was assassinated in the early morning hour on 13th February 1976. He created 7 more states in Nigeria before his assassination. The Nigerian National Art Theatre was constructed in 1976. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, known as JAMB, was established on 13th February 1978. The Warri Refinery was commissioned in 1978 by General Olusegun Obasanjo. The former Nigerian national anthem, "Nigeria We Hail Thee," was written by Mrs. Lillian Jane Williams, a Briton, and was in use till 1978 from 1960. On 1st October 1978, the current national anthem, "Arise, O Compatriot," composed by Mr. Ben Odiase, the director of music, Nigeria Police Band, was introduced in Nigeria. After 12 years self-exile in Cote d'Ivoire, the Biafran leader, Dean Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, Ezigbo Gburugburu, Ikemba Nnewi, Amụma Na-Egbu Igwe Ndị Igbo, returned to Nigeria in 1982. The editor of Newswatch magazine, Delegiwa, was killed by a letter bomb on 19th October 1986. Also in 1986, Professor Wole Soyinka became the first Nigerian Nobel Prize winner in literature. 2 more states, Akwa Ibom State and Katsina State, were created in Nigeria on 17th September 1987 by General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida from part of Cross River and Kaduna respectively. Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) was established on 18th February 1988. The first chairman of Federal Road Safety Corps was Professor Wole Soyinka. 9 more states were created in Nigeria on 27th August 1991 by General Ibrahim Babangida. The Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria was relocated from Lagos to Abuja on 12th December 1991 by General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. On the 27th December 1993, Chief Ernest Shonekan became the interim head of state under the transitional system of government in Nigeria. Nasarawa on the southeast, Kogi on the southwest, Kaduna on the north, and Niger on the west are the 4 states surrounding the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Cain, Sarawiwa, and 8 others of Ogoni men were executed on 10th November 1995. On 1st October 1996, 6 more states were created in Nigeria by General Sani Abacha. In 1996, Chioma Ajunwa became the first female African to win Olympic gold medal in track and field events. In 1997, engineer Ezekiel Izuogu launched the first African indigenous car, Z600. The acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, died in detention on July 7, 1998. On the day he was due to be released, June 12 remains a public holiday in Lagos and Ogun State in memory of Chief MKO Abiola. The oil fire incident in Jesse, Delta State occurred in 17th October 1998. Dr. Ivan Enwerem was the first Senate president to be forced to resign in Nigeria on November 18, 1999 for falsifying his academic qualification. The Independence, Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) was signed into law on 13th June 2000. The Global System for Mobile Communication (GSM) was introduced in Nigeria 2001. In November 2001, Miss Darego Abani became the first Nigerian girl to win Miss World. The Nigeria Police Force went on strike action for the first time in the history of Nigeria on 1st February 2002. The first Nigerian pastor to contest for presidential seat was Reverend Chris Okotie in 2003 and 2007 from Justice Party JP. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) was established as a 419 Act on 4th June 2003 in Nigeria. NICOM-SAT-1 was a Nigeria communication satellite and the first African geosynchronous communication satellite launched on May 2007. The former Biafran leader, Dean Chukwuemeka Odumegwu-Ojukwu, Ikemba Nnewi Ezigbo Gburugburu, Amụma Igwe Ndị Igbo, died on 26 November 2011 at the age of 78. The key elective representatives in political offices in Nigeria are the presidency, Mr. President, the governor, 36 governors, the Federal House of Reps, 360 honorables, the National Assembly, 109 senators, the local government, 774 chairmen, the councillors, 8,540 councillors. In the Nigerian National Coat of Arms, the red eagle stands for strength. The black shield stands for rich agricultural soil. The 2 white horses stands for dignity and pride. The silvery white band stands for River Niger and River Benue. The Cactus spectabilis flower, Nigerian national flower, stands for its beautiful environment. The Nigeria motto is Unity and Faith, Peace and Progress. Benue, Imo, Ogun, Anambra, Osun, Cross River, and Kaduna are the states that derive their name from river. The first black Secretary General of Commonwealth of Nations was Chief Emeka Anyoko. The first governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, was Dr. Clement Isong. The first female brigadier in Nigeria was Ronke Kale. Flora Nwakpa was the first author in Nigeria. The first female doctor in Nigeria was Dr. Elizabeth Awoyini Abimbola. The first female governor in Nigeria was Lady Virginia Etiaba of Anambra State. Mrs. Fumilayo Kuti, the mother of Fela Anikulapo Kuti, was the first female driver in Nigeria. The first female judge in Nigeria was Mrs. Rosemary Okeje. The first female pilot in Nigeria was Mrs. Chinyere Onyenucheya. Mrs. Franka Afebua was the first female senator in Nigeria. Hogan Kit Bassey was the first Nigerian world boxing champion. The first Nigerian heavyweight wrestler was Michael Opara, aka Power Mike Ide of Neni. Ademola Adetokunbo became the first Nigerian chief judge in 1958. The highest court of law in Nigeria is the Supreme Court. Ibadan in Nigeria is the largest city by area in West Africa. Now, the Nigerian leaders from 1960 till date, beginning with Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe Owele of Onitsha, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, General Aguiyi Ironsi, General Yakubu Gowon, General Murtala Muhammad, General Olusegun Obasanjo, Alhaji Shehu Shagari, General Muhammad Buhari, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, Chief Ernest Shonekan, General Sani Abacha, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Umar Musa Yar'Adua, and President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Azikiwe. Now, states in Nigeria and their dates of creation. Kano, Kwara, Kaduna, Lagos, and Rivers are states created in 1967. Anambra, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Federal Capital Territory Abuja, Adamawa, Bauchi, Imo, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Oyo, Plateau, and Sokoto are states created in 1976. Akwa Ibom and Katsina are states created in 1987. Abia, New Anambra, Delta, Edo, Enugu, Jigawa, Kebbi, Kogi, Osun, Taraba, and Yobe are states created in 1991. Bayelsa, Ebonyi, Ekiti, Gombe, Nasarawa, and Zamfara are states created in 1996. And now, here are notable dates in Nigeria. 1st January is New Year Day. 15th January is Nigeria Armed Forces Day. 14th February is St. Valentine's Day. 2nd Monday in March is Commonwealth Day. 7th April is World Health Day. 25th April is World Malaria Day. 1st May is Workers' Day. 27th May is Children's Day. 29th May is Nigeria Democracy Day. 5th June is World Environment Day. 28th June is Environmental Sanitation Day. 11th July is World Population Day. 1st October is Nigeria Independence Day. 1st December, World AIDS Day. 10th December is Human Rights Day. And 25th December is Christmas Day. Nigeria, good people, great nation. Now, African nations and affairs. Ghana in Africa was formerly known as Gold Coast. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa. The Portuguese were the first Europeans that came to West Africa. In 1847, Liberia became the first African country to gain independence. Ethiopia is the only African country that was not colonized. Mrs. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of Liberia was the first female president in Africa. In April 1978, Mr. Jimmy Carter became the first African president to visit Africa. He visited Nigeria and Liberia. Nelson Mandela of South Africa, who was jailed in 1964, was released on 11th February 1990. Captain Alemayehu Abebe was the first indigenous African pilot. On July 9, 2011, South Sudan became the last country to gain independence in Africa. The first American president to visit South Africa was Mr. Bill Clinton. He visited on 13th November 1998. Now, here are some universal events. Israel was conquered and annexed in 70 AD by Titus, king of Turkey. The largest church in the world is St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, Italy, founded in 324 by Emperor Constantine. The first structure was put over St. Peter's tomb, who was crucified and buried in that area. The new construction began in 1506 under Pope Julius II and was completed in 1615, that is, in 109 years under Pope Paul V. The first man ever to take photo on a person is Louis Daguerre. Louis Daguerre. The oldest continually operating university in the world is the Alma Mater Studiorum in Bologna, Italy, founded in 1088. Columbus Christopher discovered a new world in 1492 and named it West Indies. Civilization started first in Mesopotamia and little later in Egypt. The longest river in the world is River Nile in Egypt, Africa. It measures 4,135 miles long. The first thermometer made of glass tube and water was originally invented by Galileo Galilei in 1593. The first steam engine was invented in 1698 by Thomas Savery. The first Fahrenheit mercury thermometer was invented by Gabriel Fahrenheit in 1714. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin invented lightning conductor. Alessandro Volta invented electric battery in 1800. The first man to successfully fly across Atlantic was Captain John Alcock. Computer was invented in 1834 by Charles Babbage. Louis Daguerre invented the first camera in 1839. The largest river in the world is River Amazon in South America. The world's tallest man ever is Robert Wadlow at 8 feet 11 inches. Asa Greek Scandler founded Coca-Cola in 1892 with a syrup formula created by John S. Pemberton in 1886. The 16th American president, first American president to be assassinated, Abraham Lincoln, was assassinated in Washington, D.C. on 14th April 1865. The very first motorcycle was made by Sylvester Howard Roper in 1867. Telephone was invented in March 1876 by Alexander Graham Bell. Yuri Gagarin was the first man to travel to space on 12 April 1961. In 1885, Carl Benz finished the first motor car manufacture and the second in 1894. Transformer was invented by William Stanley in 1886. Itaipu Dam on the Paraná River on the border of Brazil and Paraguay is the largest hydroelectric dam in the world. The first man to walk around the world was George Matthew Shelling of United States of America from 1897 to 1904. The fastest animal in the world on land is cheetah. The First World War took place from 1914 to 1918. Balfour Declaration was made in 1914. The world's most populated country is China. The world's coolest city is Yakutsk in Russia. An American astronaut, Neil Armstrong, was the first man on Earth to walk on the moon in 1930. The shortest man in the world, 72-year-old Chandra Bahadur Dange from Nepal, stands 21.5 inches tall. There are 50 stars in the American flag. World Cup Championship began in 1930 and was first hosted by Uruguay, which also became the first country to win the World Cup. The richest country in the world is Luxembourg, 2005 to 2011. Mar-El Griffin became the youngest judge in the world at the age of 17. Mark I, the first electronic digital computer, was invented in 1944 by Howard Aiken. Lina Medina became the world's youngest mother at the age of 5. This is wonderful. United Nations Organization UNO was founded in 1945. The world's smallest country is the Vatican City of Rome in Italy, measuring 0.2 square miles, 0.44 kilometers in area. The smallest continent on Earth is Australia. The largest city in the world is New York City. The largest continent on Earth is Asia. The European Economic Community (EEC) was established in 1957. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries (OPEC) was founded in Baghdad, Iraq in 1960. The first female president in the world was Isabel Martinez, the Perón of Argentina. The first pregnant man on earth was Thomas Pitti. The largest airport in the world, Huntsville Atlanta International Airport, United States of America, was opened on 21st September 1980. Terrorist Osama bin Laden bombed America's World Trade Center on 11th September 2001. Michael Wonderboy Jackson was discharged and acquitted of child molestation on 13th June 2005. Michael died on 25th June 2009. The 7 colors of the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The 7 continents on Earth are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica. The 7 wonders of the ancient world are the Great Pyramid of Egypt, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the statues of Zeus at Olympia, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. The 5 oceans in the world are Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Antarctic Southern Ocean. The 9 planetary systems are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.